Okay.
Hi, Daniel. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just woke up like 30 minutes ago from like this weirdest dream.
Good or
Yeah.
bad? Or just weird?
No, it was, whenever we are dreaming, it feels, I don't get why we don't question reality much. No, 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 we should question reality much because we take things as they are. So
In the
whenever you're
dream?
dreaming, no, no,
Hmm.
no, no, no. So whenever we are dreaming, we take all the weird things as they were normal, as they are
Yeah.
happening.
Right.
And then we wake up and then we have like a different perspective. So I wonder if what we take like as normal here, if we wake up from this dream of like this one
Of
that we are,
this. So if this is a dream,
if we ever wake up, it might feel
right.
like the weirdest thing
So you
because
mean if we wake up from this dream that we are having right now,
just
right?
woke up. Yeah.
No, I get you, but like, yeah, but from this dream, I understand you. When we wake up from this, will this be weird? Will we say, "Oh God,
Yeah.
I just had a very long, weird dream"?
No, yeah, because I was having a dream about uh w- I, I was talking to a friend and he said that he wanted to introduce me to a person that he just met over text. I don't know where or how, but it felt
Wait,
reasonable.
he
And
met the person over text?
yeah, I don't know how
Okay.
he met, but the person was a waitress and he said that she was so inspiring and he wanted me to meet her. And then he took me to a bar to meet her. And once we were there, she was like giving a speech about how she was fighting cancer
The
and
waitress?
the waitress.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and she was a young lady and it felt so sad that she was like facing cancer and he had met her in the dream like literally 2 days ago in the dream
Mm-hmm.
and they were so connected somehow just over text
Mm-hmm.
and and then all of a sudden we were there were a lake and
There was.
someone there was a lake by the bar that it wasn't there before, but it suddenly appeared and it felt reasonable that they were
Right.
having a competition on who could dive. No, who could how do you say when you go
Dive. This was a
dive?
diving
Yeah.
competition. Okay.
It felt reasonable and then someone um how do you say his head hit
He hit his
something.
head.
He hit his head and then
Okay.
he 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 he, he was about like to die in front of us and we were all calm like like it was and it felt reasonable and then and yeah and then the scenario changed and dreams and then I
Yeah.
woke up before the alarm. Yeah.
I
So
get it though. I have weird dreams. I think weird dreams are the more better than like more realistic dreams.
hmm
At least like if it's too realistic, it could be sad and it would really affect you in your real life. But if it's just weird and some weird, like the last weird dream I had, I guess this week, I was very kind of silly because I was in a room having an argument with some people, and one of the people started to like specifically yell at another girl, and she was yelling at her and just like talking about, they were arguing, they were opponents, and she was just talking and talking and talking, but they were friends as well. And when she said a lot of things, like really bad things, and when she finished, she started running around the flat where we're arguing to avoid getting hit by this girl who she said these things
uh-huh.
about, and just suddenly she jumped out of the window.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And that was it.
Do you know what
Although it
happened?
wasn't, no, she jumped out of the window, and actually we looked there and she was face flat. And I woke up actually shouting because all of us were like,
Oh
what? It's weird. It's not going to happen." But
yeah,
it was just quite
dreams,
surprising. Yeah.
dreams,
But
dreams,
it
dreams.
stayed. I don't remember any other dream I had this week except that one.
Wow, yeah. I heard from someone that maybe the first thing in the morning we should write about the dreams because they say a lot
Right.
about what we are facing, how our minds process things.
Mhm.
And now thinking it's just been like literally 30 minutes ago, that dream. Actually, just by talking about it with you, I know what it is about, sort of like, but it's interesting how they come. But
Right. Well, a lot of times I wake up and I don't remember what I was dreaming about 1 minute
yeah,
ago. So
okay.
when they stick, I'm kind of happy about it. But
Mhm.
normally I don't really pay a lot of attention to my dreams. Maybe I should start doing that.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Right.
So
So,
we are here today to talk about another song. I will share my screen with you. So seeing like reading the lyrics maybe will help us to
right.
talk about it. The song is called 7 Years. Let me share my screen with you. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh,
Right.
can you see my screen?
Yes, everything is good.
Yes. So the song is called 7 Years. Uh, I really like this song. I usually generally like songs with stories, like with a storyline that start like I don't I mean I do love I might like every song. It depends like, but I like stories. So that song for me is a very interesting one.
Mhm.
And so I would like to start asking you about the first chorus. I don't
Right.
like. Let me do something here. I get very yeah. So I sorry.
It's okay.
I wouldn't be able to talk about that. Wait.
Right.
So once I was 7 years old, my mom, my mama told me, "Go make yourself some friends, or you'll be lonely." Once I was 7 years old. Um, so
Well, I would. Well, I am listening to the song and looking at the lyrics a little bit, although I didn't really look at them. I guess like the song is mostly just about like growing. I guess mostly just growing and how your life changes or how your view or perspective changes as you grow older. And like using 7 years, I guess that's when you're younger, and I guess it keeps going, right?
mhm.
It keeps going to different stages of. This is a group, right? It's not just one person. Lucas.
Yeah, I thought it was a person, but it is a group actually. Yeah,
Right.
I used to think that.
But yeah, of their lives. I wanted to use the correct pronoun of their lives. So yeah, about the 7 years, the younger part. In the first verse, it was a big, big world where we thought we were bigger. So I think of like being a child. It really nothing in the world can actually kind of bring you down as a child. Usually, as a child, you are on top of the world and you just have this very huge. You're full of hope, and everything just seems possible.
Hmm.
Nothing seems impossible as a child, and you're just like it's simple to be a child. Everything is good ahead of your life. Everything seems good. When I was a child, I wanted to go to boarding school. I remember dreaming of going to boarding
Really,
school, and I did go to boarding school. uh,
really.
yes, from 9 to 15, I think six
Hmm.
years and I was in boarding school. But when I was in primary school, I had this imagination of what my boarding school would be. And of course, it was like the exact opposite. It was really tough, although I don't regret it. It was really tough. But then I thought of everything as just beautiful after I left my after I left my parents. So I would say like everything just seemed I had so much hope and I had so everything was just positive. I was playing and I didn't think of anything negative much then. That's what I see like in the beginning of the song, just being a child and just being
Yeah,
full of hope. And mother says, yeah, everything is simple. Make friends or you'll be lonely. It's like it's as simple as that.
yeah,
It's just like the way to cure your sadness is to smile, something like that. Or the way to be happy is just to laugh or just be
yeah,
happy.
yeah,
Is everything is very simplistic for children, and
yeah,
everything our parents tell us to do is just easy, just the
yeah.
way to make your life easy. Though I was a lonely child, I think, but
For
not sad.
you,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
we've spoken about it
yeah,
about a little bit, yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, my mother didn't
Really?
tell me this when I was a
No,
child.
she didn't. She didn't advise you. I like.
To make friends, no, my mom is an introvert. a bit, and so her way not to be lonely wouldn't to be to make more friends. And also now for me, I don't think I would advise my child to do this.
Really?
No, make some friends or you'll be lonely. I think it's setting up your child for a really bad life ahead.
He-
It's giving the out like you'll be lonely if you don't have friends. Like, you can be lonely with friends and you can be
no,
great
yeah,
without friends.
definitely, yeah,
Right.
definitely, yeah, yeah. I am sort of, I was and am sort of obsessed over this song. I love it
With
so much. What the song?
obsessed with.
Obsessed with. Like, I have listened to 1,000 times, and then I have read about it. I have listened to interviews about it. I really love the song. And then he got some critics on that part. Once I was 7 years old, like it was not a good thing for his mother to say. For,
To
it was
say.
saying
Yeah, it was not a good thing for his mother to say.
it was not a good thing for his mother to say, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. But he said, he'd explained that it's actually a weird thing to say. And she never did. And neither has his father said, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely at the age
Right.
of 11. He'd said that those were things that he observed,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Right.
because their parents, they would have friends, they would be friends with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and they had like a very great marriage. So he picked that up.
You picked up. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess like if you are observing society as a child, you would like come to the conclusion that if you don't have friends, you're alone, and if you're alone, it's a bad thing, and you'll be sad
yeah,
because people make cliques, and people make fun of people who don't have friends as much. So you don't necessarily have to be told this if you just watch society. You
yeah.
can observe this definitely, and the same as get a wife or you'll be what I don't remember. It's somewhere there, get a wife or get married and something.
Or you be
It's what we
lonely,
have.
the same,
Yeah,
get
or you
yourself a
belong.
wife or
Right,
you be lonely.
right, exactly. It's what we have observed. I guess that's why, like, we all have this need to, like, not we all, most of us have a need to be around people because we think, like, if we're not, then we're weird or odd and
Hmm.
loneliness and lonely. But being alone isn't always lonely. So,
No, no,
I,
no,
I
no.
don't know. Good to
Yeah.
know that his mother didn't really tell him
No, no,
this.
no, he didn't. He did. She didn't. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So I like all the lyrics, but I wanted to ask you about,
But it's quite strange for his father to tell him at 11, you should
yeah,
get a wife.
11. Yeah. But
It's funny.
another thing about that song is that he grew up in a very poor neighborhood where the people were having sort of like fights with the police, and I'm very familiar with it, not personally, but it does happen here when the police does not protect, but the police is the enemy.
Right.
So he actually did started like smoking, you say blunt, herb, by,
Sure. If
can
a
I
blunt
say,
feels more, if a blunt feels more, I don't know, mild, sure. Blunt.
it
I
feels
don't
what?
say blunt. Sorry, I've never said
It
blunt in
feels
my
weird
life.
to say.
For me, yes, but it's fine for you, I guess. I don't
No,
know.
no, I'm not sure what feels fine. Actually,
It is correct,
it
sure, but
is,
you smoke a blunt, but I just have never said blunt. I just realized I never say blunt, but
but
sure.
it felt better if I say herb or weed.
Weed would be better, yes.
I'm sure. Uh, Actually, the reason why I'm using this word is because I met a guy through an app. He's a very interesting person, and
Oh, okay,
he
sorry. An app, right?
an
You said
app.
it. I
Yeah.
thought you said through a nap, and I'm like, is it a pattern of you to meet people in sleep? What is
Well, if
that? Sorry, go on. Through an app.
too early, Daniel. Oh my God.
Sorry.
An app. That's funny. So through an app.
Right, through an app.
Hmm. And he's the most interesting person, and he cultivates marijuana. I don't know how to say called
Sure, marijuana.
marijuana, And most of the conversations that we've had so far,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
about, it's about that. So I guess I picked up some vocabulary that I wouldn't use before just by like talking because he has this passion about
Right.
it. So
I
he
I
you
am
know,
curious about something to ask you though. If you could move the lyric up a little bit.
yeah, of course.
Sure. When he puts this lyric where pushing each other to the limits, we're learning quicker by 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Here you would characterize it as a bad thing, right? Mostly because he's a child or just the action of doing it. Which one?
You're asking.
Yes. Like, is it bad because he was 11 and doing that? Or is it just generally a bad thing to do, in your opinion?
But do you think it's phrased here like a bad thing, like he's judging,
No,
making
that's why I wanted to
judgment?
see. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. I saw the lyric and I was thinking about it. Is it phrased as a bad thing? Uh, because of the lyric before it?
yeah.
Um, or it's just like a thing that happened?
I think he just had to grow up
Yes, it has to
quickly.
grow up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in an interview he said that in his neighborhood he would I'm not sure how to phrase this, but there were people selling on the street next to each
Okay.
other, and he would go there and he would see their herb and other drugs, and then he could say, oh, I don't want that, and he'll go to the next seller and evaluate the product,
Product. Yeah.
and then he would go to the next, and then he would come up to the first and buy it from that person. I don't think he's making a judgment call. He's just
Judgment.
saying any
Statement.
judgment a statement. He's just
Yes.
saying how things were. He was a child. Those things were normal where he lived,
Hmm.
and that
That's
those
good.
were the things he were doing, not
Okay.
necessarily bad. I don't know,
Hmm.
just how he was. And
No, I get it. I just was curious. Right. We can keep
yeah,
going.
no, yeah, but I really like that. Um, so I I really like this part what he said. Only those I really love will ever really know me. And I think it it, 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 it relates a little bit with that last song that we were talking about, how we can feel vulnerable and we let ourselves be who we are with the people that we love. And but at the same time, I think that everyone we know, they will get a version of us. It will not really know. They won't really know us. They will know a fraction that will we will allow us to be, because I think about that, like my mom, she loves me, I hope. And but if you, I mean, she knows a version of me that like Camila as a daughter, that Camila as a friend could never be. And my friends won't know me as someone I'm in love with and I'm in a relationship with, might. So do you think there is such a thing as like really know someone? Is it possible?
Well, if it is, I haven't like I don't think I've had that. I don't think it's possible to really know someone. We are, you're right, we're different people to different people. You love your family, but you cannot really be the same. You cannot be totally like completely who you are with them.
Yeah,
And even when you're in a relationship, you're a different person with your parents and with your partner, you're a different
yeah,
person with your friends, and someone always doesn't know something. Also, it's just, I think we know, I don't think human beings are capable of just being entirely themselves to other people and just letting other, well, it depends on what you call knowing someone. If it's
hmm,
just about knowing the history of a
yeah,
person and knowing their life before, or it's just not knowing what the person can do or would do, or like who the person is, like character wise. If it's just about who the person is, maybe it's possible, maybe. But about knowing history, life, and what can be done and what the person would do, I don't think it's possible to definitely know. No
no,
matter how
no,
much someone loves you or you love someone, I think it's
yeah.
not possible.
No,
We always protect ourselves somehow,
yeah,
and in that way, protecting ourselves, we keep things from people, because we don't free. Well, I even like you don't fully trust people's reactions to some parts of you, I think. And although they love you, they may not react the way you want to some parts of you. So we keep secrets and we tell people some things. People who can handle some things, we tell them, and the other people we don't. It's normal, I
no,
think.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no,
Definitely
yeah,
life.
yeah. No, and also we don't know ourselves either. We don't know how we are going to react. Sometimes we're caught by surprise. So how
Right.
could people know? Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I I can't really say what I'll do. Yeah. I would say, yeah,
yeah.
it's
Sometimes there are situations that we don't know really, and
right.
yeah. So I wanted to ask you also about his bridge. When he says, "Soon I'll be 60 years old." My daddy got 61. Remember life, and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote a letter once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. And do you do a lot of remembering? Do you think about the past a lot? Or do you think it's something that we do as we mature, as we grow older, we reflect back on things more?
I'll say that unfortunately, I do think about the past a lot.
Unfortunately,
I am,
why? Unfortunately.
I think I don't know if I've said this to you, but I've said this to many people. I don't believe that it's possible to, for memories to be happy. I don't think memories are happy,
Hmm.
at all. Uh, just personally, I'll explain why. So I always think about things that happened in my life. I'm always constantly pulled back to different moments in my life, as much as like my consciousness like was active. Different moments in my life, different things that happened, good, bad, whatever they were. I'm constantly pulled back to those moments, by anything, because I have memories that are triggered by music a lot from my teenage years and my early 20s, memories triggered by smell from my childhood. And so these things cause me just like to be pulled back to that space immediately. Now,
Mhm.
regardless of if they were happy or sad, I think they are just sad, because if they were sad, I'm reliving a terrible experience that I had before. If they're happy, I am reliving a happy experience, and then I am brought back to my reality now, and that happiness is gone.
Mm.
That particular happiness is gone. Doesn't mean like I can't be happy here, but that feeling, whatever I felt in that time that I really enjoyed, I'm I when I'm brought back to reality, I realize that it is gone, and I miss it, sometimes. So,
Yeah.
well, a lot. And so in those moments, it isn't a happy memory anymore. And that's why I say, unfortunately, I remember a lot of my life. And I don't want to be doing that as I grow older, because maybe I'll feel
You have
worse.
more to remember.
I'll feel worse. But also, I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think I've come to terms with just I don't want to forget, but I don't want to remember. I'm in that middle place. I
Oh,
don't know what to
wow.
do.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope our conversations, when you remember them, they don't make you feel sad.
No, I doubt.
Okay, okay.
I
So,
doubt it.
yeah, I think we are running out of time, I think. But the last thing I want to tell you about this part, remembering, um, I I think whenever we do remember, we part of our part of our memories are creations. I
Mhm.
don't think we remember things as they were, but not that they are fake, not that we are like creating entirely a
Mhm.
story, but I think that whenever whatever is not happening in your like current, can I say current reality,
Sure.
it's
Hmm.
not real and we should not think about. We should like learn how not to go on with memories because sometimes we are doing like this creative process of putting things there or I don't know. It,
We fill in the gaps.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you. Sometimes, or most of times, it might lead to suffering. Remembering leads to
Yeah,
suffering. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I do think that yeah, a lot of times we make up, I think we make up parts of what we don't remember in like in our memories. Yeah, we
hmm
kind of fill it in and we make a story and it's normal. But as much as I said it's difficult to remember, I think that it's important to remember because one day you won't.
it is important. So we will learn from what happened. Of so
No,
we will
no,
know who we
just
are, and
just to know, just to remember how. So for example, it's important for me to remember how I got here and remember the stupid times, the difficult times, the happy times. Although they make me feel somehow bad now because a lot of time has gone, which is
yeah,
honestly the I think maybe when it comes down to it, the saddest part is just time. That may
time.
be the saddest part. That may be what makes it really sad. It's just the time.
Yeah.
But I still think that I want to remember, I want to reflect on it. Sometimes I force myself to remember things just to like reminisce or be somewhere when I was a child or something, just to be there again because this reality is just too much
No,
sometimes.
definitely.
But,
Yeah.
but no, it's difficult, but I do think that it's important. But maybe I didn't understand you correctly. You don't reflect past on the past?
Um, I I I do. I think even animals do. Whenever something happens, the animal they know that it is what it is a warning sign, what it isn't. But I think that that thing that we normally do, like when we lay our heads in our pillow, and we keep like telling ourselves a story of when that or that happened, and what it might someone might have thought or might have what could have been done differently. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm trying not to do that anymore
Right? I understand.
because it's overthinking, and then I tend to overthink things, and then I tend to, I don't know, to choose a storyline that it wasn't necessarily real. So
Yeah.
I'm trying not to. But I do write about things that happen, so I keep a diary, and by the end of each day I write down the things that happened and what I thought about them. So I have the diary to keep me grounded
Right.
and not create stories like, you
I
know.
understand. Oh, okay. Now I
Yeah.
get you. Yeah, the could haves, the what could have. Yeah, I don't think
Mhm.
we should do that. I
Yeah.
just like from remembering, from memory. I just think it's just to put yourself in that place again and just kind of relieve what happened and see what happened. But of course, you cannot change things, and you
Yeah.
shouldn't be trying to change things. But just like remember, just be there again. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
one question about memories, and this is a silly question, but I am curious. When you remember yourself as a child or as a teenager
Mm.
or whatever, do you leave it or do you watch it?
Ooh. I watch it. I don't think I am the same person I was.
Mm-hmm.
Even last year, when I think about last year and I watch myself doing things and making decisions, and I'm like, who is this person? I don't
Right,
think I was those like different people throughout like the stages. So I
right,
just watch as an entirely new character.
right.
You?
Mostly I watch as well. I feel usually when there was so much of an emotion there that I just feel like when it was an emotional moment, and I feel the emotion and I kind of find myself just doing that again. But mostly I watch. But the funny thing is I never see my face. It's a general thing. I cannot imagine people's faces. I don't know why. When I don't see, I
Hmm.
cannot imagine like the features of your face. So your face comes to me, but I cannot really place it. I can recognize you, but I cannot
Interesting.
like really place the face. So I don't really
That's
see my
interesting.
face when I
That's
when I have
interesting.
when I
Oh,
imagine.
I'll think about that. I think it's the same, but interesting. Interesting. But Daniel, I wanted to say thank you. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for the
No,
extra time as well. It,
no
it is
problem.
always a pleasure to talk to you.
Same here.
Uh, I hope your day goes well. And
Okay.
yeah, and I'll see you next time
See you
to
next time. Have a
discuss
nice time.
another song.
Right. Yeah, sure. It's always a
Yeah,
pleasure as well.
it
Thank you very much.
is. It is. Thank you. So have a nice day.
Have a
Yes.
nice day. Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye bye.